remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. I receive a lot of foolish comments, but there are several bad arguments that I see frequently. If I had $1 for every time someone pulled this crap on me, I'd have something. There are already lists of logical fallacies, but the types I've seen are either more specific examples or not under those categories, so I decided to make my own categories for this careless crap. It's just a show, it's just a movie, it's just a manga, it's not real. All of these are the same and are honestly an embarrassing display of insecurity. A. Saying it's not real doesn't disprove anything I said, but that's not your point. You're saying that I shouldn't care because it's not real. Word? Then B. Why did you feel so compelled to tell me that? Why did you click on and watch my video? Why didn't you just move on with your day? It's because you also care. If it's just a manga, then why did you bother responding? And do you also respond to positive analysis like this? I've never heard anyone say it's not real to someone praising a show. That's because this argument is only used to counter negativity. But by using this argument, you're showing that you don't like what they said, but you can't counter it. So you try to sun them by acting like you're too old to argue about stories. Take that stupidity elsewhere. Popularity alchemy is when a person tries to alchemically turn popularity into quality. Popularity doesn't equal quality. I'll say it again. Popularity doesn't equal quality. We all know that quality is subjective, but trying to use popularity to support your arguments for quality is goofy. That's the bandwagon fallacy, which is arguing that the more popular something is, the more right it is. Sword Art Online is more popular than Cowboy Bebop. Does that prove it's better? No. Whether it be sales, popularity polls, awards, or scores on rating sites, that is not a valid argument for quality. Popularity might be the result of the average audience's perceived quality, but it doesn't equate to quality. Subjectivity alchemy. Another trick people try to do is alchemically turn subjectivity into objectivity. For example, they'll say, most people think The Dark Knight is a masterpiece, therefore The Dark Knight is a masterpiece. Well, let me hit you with another quote from me. The only objectivity that comes from massive subjectivity is the objectivity that said subjectivity is massive. Let me say that again. The only objectivity that comes from massive subjectivity is the objectivity that said subjectivity is massive. Here's another way of saying it. The only truth that comes from a popular opinion is the truth that said opinion is popular. Now, unique alchemy. It's unique, it's different. This is another thing people try to argue for the quality of a story. They try to alchemically turn uniqueness into quality, but there's no alchemic formula for that. Being different doesn't contribute to the quality of a story, just like how being cliché doesn't take away from a story's quality. If being different is part of your grading system, then every story is losing points because no idea is original. There will always be another story that has done something similar. Miss me with that deconstruction nonsense. You didn't finish the story. This is another dumb quote I see a lot in an attempt to invalidate arguments. Peep game. If my criticisms are invalid because I haven't finished, then doesn't that mean all criticisms are invalid for ongoing or incomplete manga? Because y'all didn't finish the story either. Here's another angle. Maybe you're saying that my information is more limited than yours because you read more. This could be true, but if that's the case, you should be able to actually counter my arguments with your superior information instead of trying to take the high ground and avoid the argument entirely. There's always a possibility that I could be completely right with my limited information. Some of us know how to make educated predictions based on what we've read. Usually when I get these nitwit comments, is when I'm talking about the portion of the story I read, so you didn't finish it wouldn't even apply if it was a good argument. All this applies to you didn't understand it as well. If I didn't understand it, you should be able to argue why I'm wrong instead of using this filler argument that's just a logical fallacy. Well, you like One Piece, you like DBZ. Fools really try to argue that because you like a certain story, your opinions are invalid. I need a graph because I can't see the correlation or causation. Like the rest, this is another cowardly argument that attempts to shut down your entire argument without doing any actual work. It's not for everyone. This is a cope. People who say this are avoiding my criticisms of the story by arguing that I'm not the target audience. A. That doesn't disprove any of my arguments. My criticisms usually have to do with stories in general. You can't tell me you're not the target audience when I'm saying that a story has bad characters. That brings me to B. Who's it made for then? People who hate good stories? And how would you know that I'm not the target audience? You barely know anything about me. It's an argument that just avoids the responsibility of countering my points. I have no problem if you like a story and don't feel like arguing why, but don't put this trash in my comments, because whether you know it or not, you're trying to argue against me, but failing miserably. In conclusion, anytime I see a schmuck say this kind of dumb dialogue, I'm gonna link this video to them. If you want to do the same, go ahead. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.